Hey everyone, happy beginning of the week. Happy Monday to everyone. I wanted to talk with everyone today about a topic that I'm asked about a lot as a therapist. And that is, I have a lot of clients sometimes who are struggling with stress, they're struggling with depression, anxiety. And one of the number one complaints that I get when they're dealing with all of that is, I'm not getting good enough sleep. I'm not sleeping enough hours, I wake up a lot during the night, or maybe the quality of sleep that I get just isn't good. And so there are a number of things that can contribute to that, but I want to talk with everyone today about sleep hygiene and kind of what we need to do when sleep becomes a problem for us. So the first thing I would suggest, if you haven't already talked to your doctor about this, have a talk with your doctor, because sometimes, and I'm not saying that this isn't necessarily the case, I honestly don't know, but sometimes there's an underlying physical cause that will get in the way of our ability to sleep well. So touch base with your doctor, schedule an appointment, make sure that there's not an underlying physical cause. And of course, if there is, they usually have treatments for that. They have things that they can give you, even temporarily, to help your sleep quality get better and kind of reset. But with that said, I would also say that, I think our behaviors around sleep tend to have a lot to do with what quantity of sleep that we get, the quality of sleep that we get. And a lot of the time I'll hear clients tell me, especially clients who are struggling with depression or anxiety or some condition like that, they'll tell me that they don't have a very consistent bedtime. And what I mean by that is, they typically will tell me, I just go to bed whenever I get tired. Sometimes that's early, 9 or 10 o'clock at night. Sometimes it'll be 2 or 3 in the morning. Well, when we do that, when we don't have a consistent bedtime, it kind of tricks our brain into thinking, into really not knowing what time to expect to get tired. Our brain has an internal alarm clock that's automatically set, once we get into a routine. And this is why, why people who work like the third shift, they work overnights, their body never really fully adjusts to it, because we have the sunlight pouring in the windows. Our brain thinks it's time to wake up. So when we have an inconsistent bedtime, our brain kind of does the same thing. It doesn't really know, it doesn't get used to, okay, this is sleep time, I need to go to bed right now. It's kind of always wondering, what the heck do I do and when do I do it? The second thing I would suggest, is only using your bed for sleep. So I hear a lot of clients will tell me that they maybe do work in bed, they eat in bed, they watch television in bed. And so one of the things I hear pretty commonly is that, I'll ask clients, what do you typically do before you go to sleep at night? Well, I play on my phone, or I play Candy Crush, or I surf the internet on my iPad. Bad idea. Here's why. So when we're using electronic devices like that, or even the television, it kind of mimics sunlight. So it kind of tricks our brain into thinking it's daytime, I really need to still be up. Not our intention. So I always encourage clients, avoid any use of electronics at least 2 to 3 hours before bedtime. That usually gives our brain time to kind of get used to, okay, it's getting nighttime now, I need to wind myself down. Avoid any kind of stimulants before bedtime. Coffee, tea, Coca-Cola if you like soft drinks. Avoid those for several hours before you go to bed. Those are all very stimulating. Those are all just like the daylight. They kind of trick our brain into thinking, I need to still be awake. Getting a regular exercise routine. So this is tricky for a lot of people, but I think when we have regular exercise throughout our week, it actually helps us sleep better, and we typically sleep with a better quality sleep. It doesn't have to be anything, really extreme, but, check with your doctor first, see what they recommend. But, even going for a 30-minute walk 3 times a week really kind of primes us to feel tired afterwards. The last thing that I might suggest, if you're really having a hard time with sleep, and that's been going on for a while, a lot of times that happens too, if we have really severe anxiety, if we're worrying all the time. And what I'll sometimes do is encourage clients, okay, we need to kind of tell ourselves, this is not my time to worry, and actually allow themselves a time during the day. I know this sounds maybe kind of silly to some of you, but really allow yourself a designated time during the day during which you can worry about the things that you have to worry about. And they may be things that are even outside of your control anyways. But when we're worrying and worrying and worrying and worrying at bedtime, that's very stimulating to the brain. So we have to get ourselves really in the habit of kind of changing our self-talk and saying, okay, this is not my worry time. My worry time is tomorrow at 2 p.m. for 10 minutes. I'm going to shelve this topic until that time. And you know, as someone who's kind of struggled with sleep issues himself, I mean, one thing that has been very, very helpful to me, and I know a lot of people have a hard time with this, but you know, one thing that I've personally found very helpful is sleeping with white noise. So I use white noise each night when I go to sleep, and typically within probably 15 to 20 minutes at most, I'm out like a light. I think one thing that kind of does, it's like when we have, you know, especially thoughts of worry, things kind of ruminating in our brain, white noise acts as a distraction. It kind of allows us to, like, our thinking might begin with all the worry, but then it kind of fades into the background because we got this other stimulus kind of coming in. We got the white noise coming in. I'd be very interested to know what kinds of problems you've had with sleep, either quality or quantity of sleep, and what you found helpful in helping to get better sleep. So make sure to leave me some comments below. Give the video a like. Feel free to share it. But I hope everyone has found this helpful. And if you'd like more information, I have some information published on my website. Check out my blog there. And I look forward to seeing everyone again soon. Hope everyone has a great week. Bye.